Good evening. As you lie down tonight, I want you to consider something that could change your life. Something so simple and yet so profound. You are, at this very moment, becoming something, becoming someone. You are moving, either deliberately or passively, toward a destiny shaped by your thoughts, your beliefs, and the quiet decisions you make in the stillness of your own mind. Tonight, I want to talk to you, not as a stranger, not even as a speaker, but as a friend. As someone who has learned through years of study and observation that the greatest secret to success, happiness, and peace lies in the power of the mind. Now, you've heard me say it before, and I'll say it again. We become what we think about. That's not just a clever phrase. That is the law of life, as unshakable and dependable as gravity. If you've been worried, afraid, uncertain, your thoughts have likely reflected that. And what follows is more worry, more fear, more limitation. Not because you are cursed, but because you are powerful. You see, the mind is always at work. Whether you guide it or not, it creates. That's why tonight, I want you to rest easy, knowing that you can choose right now to begin again. You are not your past. You are not your mistakes. You are not what others have said or believed about you. You are what you decide to believe about yourself, tonight, tomorrow, and every day after. You can shape your future. You can redirect your course, but you must take control of your thoughts. I'd like you to imagine, just for a moment, that your mind is like a rich, fertile field. You may plant anything you wish in it. It does not care what you plant. It will return whatever you choose. You may plant success or failure, love or resentment, confidence or doubt. The field will return to you what you sow, but it will multiply it many times over. Now, knowing this, what will you plant tonight? Plant ideas of growth. Plant thoughts of purpose. Plant belief in your ability to prevail, to improve, to rise above. The greatest men and women of history, those we read about, admire, and often envy, were not born great. They became great because they thought differently. They saw themselves, not as they were, but as they could be. They disciplined their minds to dwell only on what they wanted, and with time, life caught up to that vision. That same power is in you. Let me tell you something else that's important to remember. You have nothing to fear. You may not have all the answers right now. That's perfectly all right. Most people never do. But answers have a way of revealing themselves when we ask the right questions and walk in the direction of our highest aim. If your days have felt ordinary, if your dreams have felt distant, it's only because your mind has not yet been fully awakened to what is possible. But it will be. And it begins tonight. You are going to sleep not with worry, but with wisdom. Not with fear, but with faith. You are going to sleep knowing that each new day is a blank page, and that you are the author. Here is what I suggest you do. Close your eyes. Picture yourself as the person you desire to become. Not someone else, not an imitation, but the best version of you. See yourself healthy, strong, confident, kind, intelligent, successful, and at peace. Feel what that version of you would feel. Think what they would think. Let that image sink into your subconscious, where it will begin to work while you rest. Your mind, you see, never sleeps, and the thoughts you choose before bed will echo into your tomorrow. The human mind is the last great unexplored continent. It contains riches beyond measure, not of gold or silver, but of ideas, visions, and potential. The person who learns to govern his own mind, to plant deliberately and expectantly, will always find that life becomes a mirror, reflecting not what he hopes, but what he truly believes. So tonight, I say to you, believe in your ability to change. Believe that you are here for a reason. Believe that each step forward counts, even the small ones. You do not need to rush. Nature never rushes, and yet everything gets done. What you need is clarity, consistency, and calm. And tonight, you will sleep with all three. Remember this: you are worthy of your dreams. You are capable of achieving them, and you are becoming more each day, even now, as you rest. Tomorrow, when you wake, do so with intention. Say to yourself, "Today I think positively. I speak clearly. I act deliberately. I am grateful. I am focused. I am growing." And then begin the day with purpose. But tonight, just rest. Let the soil of your mind remain quiet and undisturbed. Trust that the seeds of success you've planted will soon rise. And when they do, you will look back at this night, not as an ending, but as the beginning of everything. Before you drift off to sleep, I want to share something with you. Something that, if understood and remembered, could quietly redirect the course of your life. In the silence of the night, when the noise of the world fades and you are left with nothing but your own thoughts, you meet the most powerful force in the universe, your mind. Yes, your own mind. All that you are and all that you ever will be is the direct result of what you allow yourself to think, habitually, repeatedly, and most importantly, silently. Now, most people, they'll go their entire lives without ever truly mastering this truth. They'll blame circumstances, other people, or luck. But the wise, the few, know this: the outer world is a reflection of the inner world. You don't get what you want. You get what you are. And what you are is shaped by what you think. So tonight, let us take a moment to clean out the mental clutter. Let's discard the useless, the fearful, the angry, the self-defeating, and instead, let's plant something better, because you're going to sleep soon. And when you do, your subconscious will go to work. It will accept any idea you give it. It doesn't reason. It doesn't argue. It simply accepts. So let's give it something good to accept tonight. I want you to think about the person you most want to become, not the person you've been trained to settle for, not the version of yourself that has shrunk to fit the opinions of others. I mean the real you, the version of you that's been calling from within since the very beginning. The person you were designed to become. What do they look like? How do they carry themselves? How do they speak? How do they handle adversity? How do they walk into a room? What kind of energy do they leave behind? Hold that image in your mind, because that version of you is not some fantasy. It's your potential waiting for permission. You are never stuck. You are never too far gone. You are never too late. You are simply one new thought away from a new direction. You see, success is not something that happens to you. It's something that happens through you. And it begins here, right now, with the thoughts you choose before bed. Everything that you desire, freedom, purpose, abundance, peace, already exists. Your job is not to chase it. Your job is to become someone who attracts it. We attract not what we wish for, but what we expect, and our expectations are shaped by what we believe. Now, you may have had some hard days recently. That's all right. You may have made some wrong decisions. That's all right, too. Mistakes do not define you. They refine you. So long as you keep moving, so long as you keep growing, so long as you keep thinking in the direction of your dreams, life will begin to respond. I often say this: you are the sum total of your own thoughts. And if that's true, if thoughts are causes and conditions are effects, then the life you want must begin in your mind, long before it shows up in your bank account, your business, your relationships, or your reputation. That's why tonight is so important, because this is the moment when most people give their minds over to worry. They lie in bed and relive mistakes, regrets, and fears, but you're going to do something different. You're going to take this moment and shape it. You're going to hold yourself with discipline and peace. You're going to imagine the life you want with such vivid clarity that your subconscious will have no choice but to get to work on making it real. You are becoming more with every passing day. You are not a finished product. You are a magnificent work in progress. And tomorrow, when you rise, you will carry this truth with you. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. Those are not just poetic words. They are instructions. You steer your ship with your thoughts, your words, and your actions. If you do not decide where you are going, the world will decide for you. But if you do decide, if you hold that picture of your highest self firmly in your mind, if you think thoughts that are in harmony with that image, if you speak and walk and act as though that vision were already true, then life will begin to rearrange itself. New opportunities will arrive. New people will enter your path. New doors will open, ones you didn't even know existed, because you will have changed, not the world, but your relationship to it. That is the secret. That is the truth. And that is the path. So tonight, as your body begins to rest, I ask you to carry these affirmations into your sleep. I am in control of my mind. I plant only the thoughts I wish to grow. I am becoming the person I was born to be. I do not chase, I attract. I do not beg, I expect. My life is rising because my thoughts are rising. And now, as the day draws to a close, you have nothing more to do but trust the process. Let the worries of the day go. Release the tension from your shoulders. Let your jaw relax. Let your throat. As you prepare to end your day, I want to speak to you quietly, not with noise or urgency, but with the steady calm of truth. Right now, in the stillness of this moment, you hold in your mind the most powerful instrument in existence. It's not your job. It's not your bank account. It's not even your intelligence. It's your ability to think, to deliberately and persistently think, because everything you will ever do, become, or experience will start there, in the mind. That's not philosophy. That's fact. The greatest discovery of my life, one I've dedicated years to studying and sharing, is this. You become what you think about. It's not a saying, it's a law. As certain as gravity, as true in New York as it is in Nairobi. Your present life, in all of its detail, is the harvest of thoughts you've been planting for years. You may not have done so consciously, most people don't, but tonight you begin to do it on purpose. Because the thoughts you think before bed are seeds, seeds that the subconscious mind accepts and nourishes while you sleep. Your subconscious never rests, and it takes orders from you, especially in those final moments before you drift into unconsciousness. So let's take full advantage of that. Let me ask you a question. What do you want out of life? Not in theory, not someday, but now. What do you want your days to look like? What kind of person do you want to become? What level of peace, wealth, or purpose do you desire to experience? Whatever your answer is, I want you to hold that image in your mind like a photograph, because that image will become your blueprint. You see, every person lives according to a picture they hold of themselves in their mind. We may call it self-image, identity, or belief, but the result is the same. You will never rise above that image. You will never outwork or outperform it, but you can change it, and that change begins in moments like this, moments of stillness, of reflection, of conscious planting. You may feel like you've made mistakes, that's all right. So has every successful person you admire. You may feel like you've wasted time, that's all right too. The past cannot hold you unless you bring it with you. Tonight, we begin again. From this night forward, you begin to build a new picture of yourself. You start to see yourself as capable, as valuable, as someone with something to contribute, someone who moves deliberately, someone who thinks clearly, someone who speaks life, first to themselves and then to others. You don't need to rush. You don't need to prove. You simply need to believe. You see, the law of cause and effect tells us that for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. In the realm of the mind, the cause is the thought and the effect is your life. You are not a victim of circumstances. You are a creator of conditions. You are not lost. You may have been drifting, yes, but even driftwood eventually finds shore. And when it does, it's the beginning of a new direction. From this night forward, I encourage you to speak quietly, inwardly, to yourself. Not in complaint, but in command. Tell your subconscious where you want to go. It will listen. It always has. Say things like, I am calm, I am confident, I move through life with clarity and purpose. Every day, I become more disciplined and more focused. My mind is sharp. My heart is steady. I am in control. These aren't just words. They are the early bricks of a new foundation. Most people let life speak first. They wait for results before believing. But the successful person, the rare person, believes first. They think with intention. They plant the seed before the harvest. And they do so with faith and patience. You don't need to force. You don't need to beg. You simply need to persist. The oak tree does not beg the sun to grow. It simply stays rooted and lets the process unfold. You too must remain rooted in your vision, in your self-respect, and in your belief that you are here for a reason, because you are. Out of 7 billion people, you are here now, hearing this. That's no accident. You have a mind that can think, imagine, create, and decide. Don't use that gift to dwell on regret. Use it to build the next version of your life. Think in harmony with what you desire, and your life will begin to change. Quietly, naturally, sometimes without fanfare, but always with certainty. So tonight, rest deeply, rest with intention. Rest as someone who is no longer drifting. From this point forward, you are planting with purpose. And as you sleep, your subconscious will go to work on your behalf. You are not weak. You are not broken. You are not too late. You are ready. And when you wake tomorrow, you'll feel it. A subtle shift, a new direction, a new level of control. You'll think differently. You'll speak with clarity. And you'll walk like someone who knows that their thoughts are the beginning of everything. Let these words carry you into sleep. I am the master of my thoughts, and my thoughts are creating a beautiful life. No matter what has happened in your past, no matter what your current circumstances may look like, you are here now, listening, breathing, thinking, and that means you are still becoming. Now the question isn't if you'll become something. That's already happening. The question is, are you becoming what you were created to be? Or are you becoming what the world expects of you? You see, every one of us is the sum total of the thoughts we allow to live in our mind, not the thoughts we have once or twice, not the thoughts we borrow from others, but the thoughts we practice. Those repeated thoughts shape your beliefs. Your beliefs shape your behavior. And your behavior creates the results you wake up to every day. So tonight, I want to walk with you into the garden of your mind, because this place is sacred, it's powerful, and it responds to whatever you plant. If you plant fear, doubt, comparison, resentment, your life will reflect those things. But if you plant vision, discipline, calm, and purpose, you will begin to live in a different world. Same street, same job, same clothes, but a new mind. And that new mind becomes a new man. You may have goals, good. You may have dreams. That's important. But if you don't see yourself as the type of person who can reach those goals, you'll sabotage yourself every time. Let me tell you the truth. Your results will always match your self-image. Not what you wish was true about yourself, but what you believe to be true. So tonight, let us work on building a stronger image, one that aligns with your potential, not your past. Begin to see yourself as a disciplined person, not perfect, but consistent, not flawless, but focused. See yourself as someone who follows through, someone who does what needs to be done even when emotions fluctuate. See yourself as someone who speaks with clarity, moves with intention, and thinks for themselves. You are not too emotional. You are not too late. You are not too behind. You are ready. Ready to build. Ready to lead. Ready to become. Now let me tell you something else. Discipline is freedom. Most people think discipline is punishment, but they've misunderstood it. True discipline isn't about restriction, it's about direction. It's the tool that keeps you on course when your feelings want to drift. And when you live with discipline, you no longer have to live in fear. Fear of failure, fear of inconsistency, fear of becoming like those who gave up. Discipline silences all of that. It tells your subconscious, this is who we are now. And once your subconscious accepts a new identity, your life will change. Quietly, then quickly. So tonight I want you to fall asleep knowing this. You don't need permission from anyone to rise. You don't need applause to become excellent. You don't need to wait for the perfect timing to start. You are the timing. All you need to do is believe. To believe that your future is not found. It's built. It's created, brick by brick, with thoughts, decisions, and actions. And the greatest ones often happen when no one is watching. So let me remind you again, you are not your past. You are not your mistakes. You are not your current bank account, your current job, or the doubts in your head. You are becoming. And if you begin to believe in the version of you that is focused, calm, thoughtful, and powerful, then that is who you will become. It doesn't happen overnight. But it does happen over many nights like this one. Nights when you choose to think deeply instead of scrolling endlessly. Nights when you plant seeds of greatness into the fertile soil of your mind. What you plant tonight you will begin to live out tomorrow. So take this with you into your sleep. I am no longer waiting to become someone new. I am already becoming. I am the type of person who finishes what I start. I speak only what I want to create. My actions match my goals, my habits match my identity, and my life is rising, thought by thought, step by step. You don't need to compare yourself to anyone else. You don't need to rush. You simply need to move forward, even if it's slow. The path is not crowded when you're walking in purpose, and soon you'll look back and realize the breakthrough didn't come in a loud moment. It came in nights like this one, quiet, focused, intentional. So sleep well tonight. Let your mind rest in this truth. You are not broken. You are becoming, and who you're becoming is more powerful than you can yet imagine. Tonight, I want to remind you of something most people never hear often enough. You are not as far as you think. You may feel behind. You may feel like too much time has passed. You may even feel at times like your best days are already gone. But those are only feelings. And while feelings can be loud, they're not always true. The truth is this: you're closer than you think. You see, there's a natural law in this world, the law of accumulation. Every small action, every thought you return to, every decision to keep going, it adds up. Not always in a way that you can see right away, but deep beneath the surface, your life is shifting. Change doesn't happen all at once. It happens quietly, then suddenly. You don't build a new life overnight, but you do build it every night. When you decide what kind of person you're becoming, and you're doing that right now, you are one of the few who are feeding your mind rather than entertaining your distractions. You're one of the few who are thinking deeply rather than scrolling mindlessly. You're not wasting your nights, you're investing them. And that, my friend, puts you in rare company. Because most people never realize that success is not an event. It's a process, a daily, quiet, invisible process. One thought at a time, one habit at a time, one decision at a time. Now, as you prepare to close your eyes, I want to tell you something that may shift the way you see yourself. You are already valuable, not because of what you've achieved, but because of what you carry within you. Inside you is potential that has not yet been seen. Inside you is a strength you've only just begun to tap into. Inside you is the same power that has built nations, written books, invented solutions, created wealth, and sparked revolutions. You don't need to become someone else. You need to become fully yourself. But here's the truth. The world will try to distract you from that. It will try to keep you busy, not effective. It will feed you fear, not faith. It will encourage consumption, not creation. But you don't have to follow the crowd. You don't have to live on autopilot. You can live on purpose. And purpose, my friend, begins with thought. So let me ask you this, tonight. What do you want to build? Who do you want to be known as? What kind of life do you want to wake up to? Don't worry about the how yet. The how will follow the vision. The important thing is that you see it clearly in your mind, that you begin to believe it, that you begin to align your daily thoughts with that vision. Because the subconscious mind cannot reject an idea you plant with belief and repetition. It begins to accept it as truth. And once it does, your actions begin to change, your patterns shift, your self-image rises, and your results follow. So don't concern yourself with rushing. Concern yourself with aligning. Ask yourself, are my thoughts in harmony with who I want to become? Are my words building that version of me or breaking it down? Are my habits in alignment with my goals or in conflict with them? If the answer is no, that's all right. You're not here to be perfect. You're here to become aware, because awareness is the beginning of all change. And once you're aware, you can't go back. You can't unsee what you've seen. You can't unknow what you now know. You're not average. You never were. You've just been told to think that way, but deep down, you've always known you were meant for more. So tonight, let's give the mind new instructions. Instructions that are clear, precise, aligned. Say these words quietly to yourself. Let them echo into your subconscious. I am becoming the best version of myself, mentally, spiritually, and financially. I release what no longer serves me. I am worthy of success, peace, and purpose. Every night, I am reprogramming my mind for abundance. What I desire is already making its way toward me, and I am becoming the person who is ready for it. You don't need to chase, you need to align, you need to become. That is the secret, that is the path. And every night like this one, every quiet decision to reframe your mind is one step closer to the life that's waiting for you. So tonight, rest deeply, let the old thoughts pass, let the stress go, let the body recharge, let the spirit reset, because tomorrow you'll wake up a little different. Not because the world changed, but because you did. And that, my friend, makes all the difference. Good night, and remember, you are not far. You are getting closer, thought by thought, step by step.